What's up, everyone? We are live at 5. It's Friday, September 11th. I'm Paul Montoric.
And I'm Beth Stevens.
And we're joined, as always, by Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello. Happy Friday.
How are you? Friday. It's our first Friday in a while doing this. We're back. Yep. We're back in the schedule.
That's right. We're ready.
Hey, we've had quite a theme this week on the show, right? About talking about actual theater that's happening. There's not theater happening on Broadway, but there's theater to be had. And man, I wish I was in England next week to see this. Who's here today?
Oh, we are very lucky that Emma Kingston and Waylon Jacobs are with us, and they are in the last 5 years all the way in Cornwall. Ooh, far away.
That's, I mean, if you're going to do it. I mean, Kathy and Jamie are definitely distanced, right? So I mean, this mostly works pretty easily. I can't wait to talk to them, but first, let's do a little news.
Okay, Paul, we already talked about this. We talked about Miscast, which is, of course, the benefit concert for MCC Theater that's been going on for 20 years. This is Miscast 20. So we all know about this, and we've all marked it on our calendars for September 13th. That's Sunday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. However, they just announced that they are going to reunite the original cast of Hairspray on Broadway for this. So that's right. There's Harvey Fierstein, Marissa Jarrett Winokur, Laura Bell Bundy will be there, Carrie Butler, of course, Matthew Morrison. There he is in his little shorts, Jackie Hoffman, Camilla Marshall, Corey Reynolds, Judine Somerville, Shayna Steele, all of our people. So excited. And they're joining. There are more people than just Hairspray. There's also Leslie Odom Jr., Adrian Warren, Rob McClure, Joshua Henry, and more. So check it out, September 13th.
Cool. Hey, Caitlin, will you put back up that first Hairspray photo? Put that. So in the back, who's that in the back, in the middle, Beth? With that wig?
There's another Hairspray lady.
Hey, look, it's Shoshana Bean,
That's right,
who is the subject of our next story. I noticed Shoshana Bean in the back, so I was laughing because Shoshana Bean, of course, everybody knows Shoshana Bean, big Broadway belter Shoshana Bean, who was on Broadway not long ago in Waitress, and she was also in Hairspray, and she was the first alphabet replacement in Wicked. She released an EP. She dropped a surprise EP on her fans. Obviously Shoshana has done a lot of music, a lot of recording, and her, she had that Spectrum, that amazing Spectrum album was #1 on the Billboard Jazz charts. This is a smaller offering. This is 3 songs, but it includes Purple Rain by Prince. Beth,
what else do you need?
Is singing Purple Rain.
Your weekend just got so much better.
It's called Sela. I see L-A-H. I didn't call Shoshana to find out the pronunciation, but it's available on all streaming platforms. I already streamed it, so there you go.
You're fast. You are fast. All right. Well, here's another example of people just doing theater where they can. David Strathairn, who we all know is an Oscar nominee for Good Night and Good Luck, where he played Edward R. Murrow in 2005. He is doing a radio play adaptation of Sinclair Lewis's novel, It Can't Happen Here. Always timely, Sinclair Lewis wrote this with the rise of fascism and Nazism in Germany, and it's a satire. This is for, by the way, it was done at Berkeley Rep in 2016, so it's an adaptation of that stage adaptation now for the radio. This is taking place Tuesday, October 13th at 8 o'clock. They're describing it in a way that appeals to people right now. It was always a satire published in 1935. They say it follows the rise of a demagogue who becomes president of the United States by promising to return the country to greatness.
I can't imagine why that's timely.
I don't know why.
Finally, John Lloyd Young, Tony winner John Lloyd Young, is doing a concert, a live concert online at a place called The Space in Las Vegas. Wow, I guess that's where John Lloyd Young is these days. This is happening on Saturday. We haven't seen him in a while. Saturday, October 3rd at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's a virtual concert, and there'll be an after party and surprises, and I don't know. Tickets start at $30, and it's John Lloyd Young. He's fantastic. He's like a real smooth crooner. He does a lot. He doesn't just do Frankie Valli, but he's really good at Frankie Valli. But that's what he won his Tony for. That's our. Oh, there's a photo of him. Yeah. I'm glad I said it. Otherwise, Caitlin would have known when to show the photo. So that's the news, not the biggest hard-hitting news day, but we have some great guests to talk to. So, Caitlin, are you still there?
Well, let's do our Today in
Oh,
Broadway.
I forgot. Oh my God, I forgot.
So we're gonna do a little piece of history. I understand why you might be putting this off because it's sad. We're gonna talk.
Because you know what? I know when 9/11 comes.
Yeah.
You know, if you wake up on 9/11 and it's just like, here we go. Beth and I were working at Broadway.com when 9/11 happened. So, Beth, let's do Today in Broadway.
Yeah, we definitely need a downbeat song for that sometimes. We're marking the 19th anniversary of 9/11. You already know that. But I just wanted to mark it for Broadway as well, just from a Broadway perspective, because tomorrow, September 12th, not only is it the Come From Away date, it's also the 6-month anniversary of Broadway being shut down March 12th of 2020. Mm-hmm. So in thinking about that, and there, of course, is Broadway, we closed down. Broadway closed down on 9/11. Jed Bernstein, who was the head of the League of Broadway Theaters and Producers, there he is. Now it's called the Broadway League. He had to make the quick decision to close Broadway on September 11th, 2001, mostly because people couldn't get to work. There was no subway. There was no bus service, right? Everything was just kind of in a state of shock. However, 48 hours later, Broadway once again lit up and played. And that day, on September 13th, 2001, Broadway performers at the end of their show sang God Bless America. It was really very beautiful, and it was very emotional. The first show to open after 9/11 was Urinetown. There it is. Right. There he is. There's Hunter Foster and his wife, Jen Cody, right beside him. So that show was supposed to open on September 13th. They did not open on September 13th. They delayed their open until September 20th. And so the 13th was just like another preview. And I just want to quickly, and then we have to get to our guests who are staying up so late for us, but I want to quickly talk about Broadway shutdowns. There have been times in the past when Broadway has closed, and mostly that's been for worker strikes, for either Equity was striking or the musicians union or the stagehands unions were striking. Also, Hurricane Sandy had this show closed. There was a blizzard in 2016 that closed the show for one day, I think, only one day. And of course, last summer, there was a power outage that closed down 20 shows. I was trying to see a show that night. So, things happen, but this is the longest shutdown in Broadway history. And I also want to say there was a flu pandemic. We all have heard about it lots during this time of coronavirus in 1918 and 1919, right? But Broadway did not shut down during the Spanish flu.
That's right.
So there you have it. The night before, September 10th, 2001, we were just like 6 months old. Broadway.com wasn't very old. Mandy Patinkin had a concert on Broadway, and then
oh my God, I was there
at the Neil Simon Theater.
I was there. I know.
I just want to mention one more thing, and then I'll relinquish my time to our wonderful guests. But Broadway rallied together after 9/11, and by September 28th, Broadway stars came together to record New York, New York, the Kander and Ebb song, New York, New York. And that commercial ran in 20 countries to let people know that New York City was open for business and Broadway was open for business. Yeah. And I'm sure that once Broadway opens up again, our theater community will rally again. So there you have it.
That's just what this community does. Yeah. So Caitlin,
I literally am getting teary-eyed.
I didn't even talk about it. There's so much more to say, but I'm just gonna leave it.
I know. I literally was like, oh man, I miss this. Wow. New York's the best.
Pull yourself together and give our guests a proper introduction.
Let me, please. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for today's Live at 5 Home Edition, live right here on Facebook and YouTube. And as we said earlier, we have actors Emma Kingston and Waylon Jacobs here with us today, who are starring in the last 5 years at the Minack Theatre in Cornwall. It's this gorgeous, they'll talk about it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So Kingston was playing Louisa in Zorro at the Hope Mill Theatre at the time that COVID-19 shut theaters down, and her other stage credits include In the Heights, Evita, Les Mis, and a whole lot more. And Jacob's stage credits include Hamilton. Have you heard of it? He was in the original West End cast of that. He's been in Memphis, We Will Rock You, Ragtime, Rent, The Lion King, so much more. You can follow them on Instagram at mkingston and wayj4. Please leave all of your questions in the comments below. And please welcome Emma, Waylon, and Paul. Oh, I brought Beth back.
And
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
You guys.
you guys set this up as well.
We were
You
getting,
okay?
yeah.
Yeah, Beth did a really good job. You guys are up late. I mean, not that late. What? So 10, live at 10 London time.
10.
Yeah. Thank you for staying up. So good. I've never met you, Waylon. I have met you, Emma. Can I tell everyone how we first met?
Please do.
So I was in London with Beth. Actually, Beth was with me. And we were seeing, we go to London every once in a while and you see as many shows as we can. And we were like going from show to show to show. And I think I put on social media, I was at some show, I put something, and then you messaged me and you were like, are you coming to see In the Heights? And I was like, oh my God, of course we have to go see In the Heights.
Yes.
And you were Vanessa in The Heights, and you were fantastic. And that was a really cool production. Did you get to see that production, Waylon?
That's how I met Emma, because my best friend was in it with her. So I went to go see, and I actually am a fangirl of Emma. So
you guys are both fantastically talented. I actually just to get everyone really excited about your talents. I was stalking you a little bit online, and I just wanted to I want to sort of show up how talented you both are, if you don't mind, if you can handle it. So, Waylon, first,
don't do well with that. We're like, oh gosh.
Waylon, first, I want to show a clip I found. This is actually from a memorial, I believe, of Aaron Morgan, right? Yeah. And this is you. I'm just gonna play it and let everyone see how fantastic you are. So let's watch this. All right, Tom Collins killing me. And Emma, you, after In the Heights, you had a fantastic run as the star of the international tour of Evita. And there is some fantastic, they gave me my moments, so I had to show my top two. These are literally like my top two Evita moments. So let's take this.
Okay. Shoot me up with your blood, wind me up with your nights. Watch me coming. All I want is a whole lot of excess. Tell the singer this is where I'm playing. Stand back, Buenos Aires, because you wanna know what you're gonna get in me.
Just a little. It cuts off. It cuts off right before.
Little touch of star quality.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Man, I wish I saw that. I wish I saw that full production. Was that fun? That was a big tour.
It was amazing. And, I remember I was in New York and I had the opportunity to meet the wonderful late, great Hal Prince. And, talk about the production. My mum's Argentine, so again, like there's just so much about doing that show that just meant the world to me, and seeing the world was just amazing.
Yeah. And Waylon, you were obviously in Hamilton. You were the original, and that was a big gig to book that. I mean, coming off the Broadway run, I mean, probably the biggest London opening of the last like 5 years, right? I mean, the last 5 years. I just said the last 5 years. I didn't even mean to do that. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, it was just out of this world. Like, because there had been so much hype about Hamilton just from the cast recording being released, and us over the seas just being like, when's it coming? And then the audition process was a long process. So then when we finally got started, it was just like, this is unbelievable. And just to get your teeth into Lynn's music is just like it's just great. It's so wonderful. I've been a massive fan of Lynn forever as well. Like In the Heights was one of my very first, like back in training. So 2009 was it when I must have first discovered In the Heights, and I fell in love with it then. So like that I've always had a want to do something with that man's work, and to be able to be part of Hamilton and play King George, Lafayette Jefferson, and Aaron Burr. I was just it was an absolute dream. It really was.
Honestly, the biggest thing that didn't go right about 2020 for me is that I haven't seen the In the Heights movie like 40 times by now, because I was so excited for that movie to come out. But it'll be worth it next summer.
Yeah.
I tried to say to a lot of our previous cast, I was like, okay, so who's in? We're doing like a movie day. We've all got to go together.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. So the last 5 years. So you guys have never done anything together? Is this there's no connection here? Okay.
Just
we met 6 years ago, I think.
Mm-hmm. So this is an approved production. And so talk a little bit about where this theater is, and it's outside of London, right? So like, where is it in relation? Fill the Americans in a little bit.
Do you want to go, Emma?
Sure. So the theatre called the Minack is down in Cornwall, which is a very far away place. It's the southern tip of England, and the theatre is built into this incredible rock mountain that overlooks Porthcurno Cove. And so you have the ocean as a backdrop. So when you come, you can see the sunset, and it's the most spectacular place.
It really is just beautiful. Like you're in the side of a cliff, just overlooking everything, and like the auditorium is built up into the cliff as well. So it's private little. It's just I went there when I was a teenager, and I saw an Amdram show there, and it was just stunning. And I love outdoor theatre anyway, because all different bits and pieces happen, but it's just magical. You just feel like you're, again, theatre in a different world.
Yeah.
Completely. And in England, you're like, this doesn't exist, does it?
Honestly, I think for so many of us in the UK, if we live in London, it's an event if we get to go to a beach. And
true story.
Yeah. So it's so beautiful around there that even just to sort of go for a day and have a look around the town, it's just a spectacularly beautiful place. And
then you get to go see this beautiful show and listen to one of my favorite scores. I mean, it's such a stunning. I just love this show so much. I love this music. Have you sang these songs before? And it's all solo songs and one duet. That's the structure. Everyone doesn't know the last 5 years. So I guess it sort of lends itself to distancing. But are you guys allowed to I mean, you do get to see Kathy and Jamie together at one point. Are you distanced from each other, or? Yeah, you are. Okay.
Yes.
So you don't go anywhere. You don't get closer than 6 feet from each other.
No. It's
strange times, right? It's so weird.
It's strange, but it really, how Omar has directed it is really sensitive to the culture, the Jewish culture, and Kathy's Catholic culture. The fact that both of us are the opposite religion playing in the cast as well already, like that is just, it's really wonderful. With it, everything is being so sensitively handled, and we the assistant director Rebecca, she's Jewish, and she's been opening up to me, enlightening me about all the Jewish cultures, the traditions, and things like that. And we've really been working together on like just growing the show from a different point of view, like the stakes of these two culturally, what they've been brought up to believe, why it's not worked because of their beliefs and their foundations. In like it's really, for me, it's been wonderfully eye-opening and very beautiful and touching, to just learn loads of different things.
You guys, I think you said you had your cis probe today, which means you heard the music with the full band, right? It's your first time. There are so many great songs. You both get to do amazing songs. Can you each tell me your favorite song you get to sing in this show? I
mean, I think, Waylon, you can probably guess what mine is.
I was going to say, yours is somewhere in Ohio.
It is somewhere in Ohio. We have created a world for Kathy in this scene whereby I just kind of get to embrace everything I truly love about theatre.
One-woman show, basically a one-woman show in that one song.
Literally, it's I've never seen Kathy sang or played like this, and it's stunning. I'm very excited I'm so excited for people to see her do it.
For me, it's basically, if Fanny Bryce was a Catholic, here you go. But yeah, I think I love that, and I don't know what Waylon's going to say for his favorite, but I know one of my favorites of his is definitely the Shmuel song.
Oh, Shmuel. Okay, those are both signature. What about is Shmuel your top moment? That's another whole story song.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I've said before, it's the one that I used to skip on the album, and it wasn't the one that I like to listen. I love it now. I've grown a lot. I'm growing with it so much, and I'm really enjoying doing it. However, I think one of my favorites has to be actually one of Jamie's slower songs. If I Didn't Believe in You is, there's just so much in it, and you just start opening your mouth to speak, and it all just flows, and it feels natural, and it's just a very beautifully written. I mean, the whole piece is, but I really, really enjoy If I Didn't Believe in You.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's hard for me with this show because I could pick any of the songs, and I recently did a Broadway themed spin class, and I didn't know that I Can Do Better Than That works in spin class. I Can Do Better Than That was a nice little bop in a spin class. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah.
Totally.
I was very impressed that they worked it in. So obviously this is the theater is taking all the precautions. Everyone is sort of spaced. I'm sure there's hand sanitizers everywhere, and you'll be looking out at people wearing masks. And is that what the deal is? Or you're outdoors? It's outdoors.
We're outdoors. I'm not sure what the policy is actually on wearing masks. Right. I know that I went to see Jesus Christ Superstar at Regent's Park Open Air Theatre earlier this week, and we were told we did have to wear masks. I think it's more for the benefit of just sort of everyone else watching, that if there's, even one person who's just slightly anxious but really wants to go to the theatre, I think it's just that thing like, wear a mask, and then everyone can enjoy it without feeling in any way nervous. What the policy is at the Minack, I don't know. But, everyone in our rehearsal, our whole creative team this week have pretty much been, definitely distanced. If they come anywhere near us when we're singing, they're in visors, wearing masks, we're temperatures taken every day, hand sanitizer. Everyone's been amazing at keeping us safe.
Yeah, they've really been looking after us wonderfully. And what I have to say as a new production company, they are doing everything that they can to make sure that we are looked after, and it's so wonderful to see the producers, Ben, Chris, David, just really looking after us and stepping up and really trying to put their stamp on something. It's really everyone cares so much about this piece, and it's really wonderful to see.
How does it feel emotionally to get to perform? You're doing this next week, and so many of your peers, I'm sure, are you're watching everyone on social media, sort of spinning a little bit, trying to figure out what they're doing, and you get to do this show. How does it feel?
I feel like I've been on cloud 9. Even we've only really done a week in the room. Last week we were rehearsing and taught it, thinking character analysis over Zoom. And it really is just something so special. And I think it certainly made me realize how much I love theatre. And it takes you back to that kid who just wants to be on stage performing, the pressures of, God, I hope I get it. That's all kind of, that's gone away a little bit because there's no pressure, because there's no expectation at the moment.
Yeah.
And really, I think it's, certainly for us in this privileged position of being able to do something, I know for me, it's made me relax. It's made me just enjoy the moment instead of thinking, oh God, I've got an audition tomorrow. I've got to think about the next thing I'm going to do. And it's really helped me stay present.
Yeah. Just so grateful to be able to do it again. Because obviously none of us knew or knows when it's going to come back properly. So to just have a little snippet again and just be like, oh, this is a gorgeous little moment that I can grasp and just really enjoy and embrace. It's been wonderful. It truly has been a blessing.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Let's bring Caitlin back in. Caitlin, are you there? There she
Hello.
is.
Hi. You want to do some
doing?
I'm
yes,
great.
Let's do some fan questions. Just a little touch of stuff.
Love it. Okay, so first question is Amira on YouTube wants to know, what are your guys' favorite roles that you have played?
You've done a lot. You've both done a lot. And actually, I forgot to tell you, I'm like Waylon. I'm like the biggest Memphis fan, and I know you're in Memphis.
Oh, yes, he is.
I probably saw you in Memphis, in London. I'm a big Memphis fan too. So,
well, actually, Ben, being able to play Gator in Memphis, that was one of my understudies. That was amazing. And I
wasn't trying to sway the answer, by the way. I just
no. I know it's not a massive role, but I had such a connection with that character. I thought it was so sweet and gorgeous, and I just singing "Say a Prayer" was just I just loved doing that. So yeah, that would be one of the favorite roles I've done. You enjoy them all, but definitely that one for me.
Oh, I wouldn't even know where to start. I mean, In the Heights was a really special time for me. And I would say that Vanessa's definitely up there, but I had an opportunity to do Fiddler on the Roof a couple of years ago. And doing that show for me, playing Hoddle, that was a lifelong dream of mine. You know, my grandma used to quote it to me all the time. If you grow up in a Jewish household, every grandma's always quoting it to you. So, you know, to get to be able to do that show was really special.
Oh, I love that. Speaking of Fiddler on the Roof, girl named Willow says that she saw you in Fiddler on the Roof and it made her fall in love with theater. So there you go.
Look at that.
There you go. Willow A on YouTube says she loves Emma.
Thank you, Willow A.
Okay, another question. Lee Pugsley, I love this name. Lee Pugsley wants to know if there's a musical theater song that is like your absolute favorite that you have like a deep cut connection to.
Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. I might have to say, because I showed Waylon this today, actually. my favorite soundtrack album, Broadway cast album ever, is Patti LuPone's "Anything Goes," and
yeah,
I have a video of myself at 3 years old singing "Blow Gabriel Blow."
Oh my! Roll clip. No, we don't have it. We don't have it.
That for me is probably one that I hear it. I can only ever hear Patti do it. I had a chance to meet Patti when she was over doing the Les Mis 30th anniversary in London because I was in the cast at the time, and I brought her my album, and I just said, "I love it so much." So yeah, that would be my top.
So when you're playing Evita, I mean, a lot of great ladies have played Evita, but you know, when Patti LuPone plays a role, I tend to get stuck on Patti LuPone a little bit. Are you thinking of Patti LuPone ever when you're on stage doing all those moments, or?
Oh yeah, hugely. I think there was a day where, you know, you get those days on tour where you fancy having just a little bit of fun, and I may have tried. I mean, probably horribly failed to give my best Patti in the start of Rainbow High.
Love it.
It's so fun.
You have to do it once.
Yeah, of course. Iconic.
Yeah, that's the thing. Iconic.
Yeah. Amazing.
What about you, Waylon? Do you have a favorite song?
Oh, right.
Yes. Not probably. It's "Bring Him Home" from Les Mis. I've got many connections to that song, but before I knew about theatre properly, I used that as an audition song for my drama school, but not knowing that it's supposed to be sung in a different place. I went in and belted my my face off, and the musical, the head of music at the time was like, because it was in a lower key, I was like, "That's very interesting. Do you think you could do it in the original key?" I was like, "What?" And I've got a thing, as long as I don't know what the note is, I don't have a limit as long as I don't know. Because when I know, I then think about it and you get in your head. So he put it into his key and I belted "Bring Him Home." And he literally just sat there and was like, "That was really impressive." And I still to this day swear that's what got me into drama school. Just being like, no idea, but just being like, let's go for it.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
That's
amazing. Well, we have to let you guys get to bed because you're putting a musical together and and it's later there. I believe the show is like sold out or almost sold out, so I don't know if people can even go or
a couple of extra tickets I know got released today for certain performances, and I think there are 3 shows maybe that still have limited availability, but otherwise a lot of it is sold out, which is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're really excited. It's a 5-hour drive from London. I know you guys in America probably think 5 hours? Yeah, that's nothing. For us, 5 hours is like, we can go to Spain quicker than that.
We like barely get through New York in 5 hours.
You're right. We have such a different perspective on 5 hours. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Well, I wouldn't argue if, later when everything's cleared up, you come and do this in New York. I would love to see you guys sing this show one day.
Jason, do you fancy it?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Stick around so we could properly say goodbye. Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Gladly. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for another great episode of Live at 5 Home Edition. You can follow along wherever you get your podcast by searching for hashtag Live at 5 and hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in on Monday. We talked to Cheyenne Jackson, and taking us out today is a snippet of that incredible Broadway commercial that Beth talked about, where Broadway performers from so many different companies and shows came together and say that New York and Broadway is still alive.
These little town blues are melting away.
We'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If we can make it there, we'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York.
Come to New York and let's go on with the show.